Well, hello and greetings, International Studies 200 students. My name is Dr. Foster, and I'm so happy to introduce you to our course for this spring 2021 semester, Interdisciplinary Approaches to Globalization. Again, my name is Dr. Foster, excited to serve as your professor for this semester. And what I wanted to do today is give you a sense of what the course is in terms of content and structure. So what it is that we'll be studying, and what's the structure of the course. So how is it built? What are the assignments? What do we need to do to succeed in the course? But first, let me take a quick second to introduce you to myself. Again, Dr. Foster, full name Christopher Ian Foster. I have a little introduction page on the Canvas website, which I encourage you to go and explore right off the bat. I'm originally from Washington State. I studied anthropology and English at the University of Washington. I moved to New York City for graduate school, where I studied liberal studies and then ultimately received a PhD in English literature. I've served as a visiting assistant professor at James Madison University in Virginia and a tenure track assistant professor at Jackson State University as well, before I came to Colorado State University in the International Studies Department. And so I've published a book on globalization. Globalization, as you know, is the subject of the course. It's called Conscripts of Migration. Of course, that's not required, but if you're interested in the background of my research, there's a link to it, I think, on Canvas on the Start Here page. So feel free to check that out. Again, it's not required. Just give you a sense of my background in terms of scholarship and teaching and location and all that good stuff. So that's me, Dr. Foster, and we'll get to know each other right away this first week. We'll start with a online discussion based on our first week's reading, but we'll get to that in a minute. So what is the class about? All right. So the title is Interdisciplinary Approaches to Globalization. So that gives us two ways to think about the class. One, what we're studying, and two, how we're going to study it, okay? So the subject of the course is globalization, and that's a huge topic and comes with a huge set of questions. And so for the semester, we're going to go through trying to solve that problem of what is globalization, when was it, when did it start, what does it do, what are some positives, what are some negatives, what do we want to change about it, how can we do that, how does it affect people all over the globe from here to there. So that's the subject of the course, what we're looking at. That is a deep study and introduction to the study of and approaches to globalization. All right, so that's the what. The how is explained to us in the word interdisciplinary in the title, Interdisciplinary Approaches to Globalization. So what is interdisciplinary? So if you are new to university or a senior, whatever, you know that there are different disciplines symbolized by different departments in a university, right? So there's all sorts of different departments and programs. And each of those departments are within a particular discipline, right? So for example, you have the anthropology department, you have a sociology department, political science department, you have a biology department, you have a literature department, English, right? And so each one of those has its own sort of discipline, and each discipline has its own set of things that it studies and its own set of tools through which it studies those topics, right? So it has its own methodologies. So our course is interdisciplinary, which means that we are going to be using concepts and tools from across the disciplines. Right, so we'll be using concepts and tools, again, from anthropology to political science. We'll be looking at economics. We'll be looking at philosophy. We'll be looking at literature and poems. And so we're going to use a broad and wide-ranging approach, right, to study globalization, which in our program, International Studies, we think is the best way to do that. The best way to do that, to study a particular topic or a particular problem, is to use tools from a number of different places, right? So that's interdisciplinary approaches to globalization. The thing that we're going to be studying is globalization, and we're going to dive right into it in the first week. So you'll be reading the Chapter 1, or Introduction to our textbook, which I'll go over right now. And that's in the syllabus and on Canvas. So our textbook is the Smallman and Brown Introduction to International and Global Studies. All right. So the first assignment is going to be acquiring that textbook, whether it's physical or ebook. Either one is fine. And so that's a really quick introduction to the course, and we're going to dive right into what globalization is. For example, our first module will be approaches to globalization, and then histories of globalization, how we think about it, how scholars have thought about it. How do we define it? What is this thing called globalization? And then we will go from there. So in terms of the structure of the course, the mechanics of it, what we'll be doing, we're actually going to be doing a wide range of things, a wide range of assignments and tasks and all sorts of different things to approach this study of globalization and to really give us a number of different ways to proceed therein. All right, so this class is again, it's wide ranging. So you'll have online lectures by me that you can watch anytime in the beginning of the week. We're also going to have live discussions for that will meet at a particular time and date that will give students a chance to discuss the material and ask me questions and to really kind of talk as a class together. Now, there are a couple of different sections of 200. One is 002, and that's a synchronous section. And so for you, if you're in 002, 200 002, those live discussions will be required. We have another section that is online only or asynchronous, and that is section 801. So if you're in section 801, those live discussions that meet on a particular date and time, usually on Thursdays, are optional. That is, they are not required if you're in 801. If you're in 002, they are required as attendance in an actual regular in-person class would be. Any questions, just email me. That's in the syllabus, and we'll go over that. So we have online lectures that you can view anytime, usually in the beginning of the week. Live discussions. We'll also have online Canvas discussions, kind of like a blog discussion, where you'll answer my questions, and you're also going to comment on your classmates' comments. So you're going to have a dialogue amongst each other. We'll have both formal and informal writing. So what does that mean? Formal writing is represented by kind of your take-home, high-stakes essay where you'll craft a well-written and researched essay, and you'll revise it and you'll turn it in and it'll be graded. Whereas informal writing represents the more low-stakes, week-to-week writing, such as blogs, where you won't get a letter grade, and I'm not going to be looking at as much as I would be in formal writing. So formal essays versus just kind of informal blogs or responses or things like that. So there'll be a wide variety of writing. Instead of a midterm and final exam, we're going to have quizzes throughout, which is going to be vocabulary quizzes. So it's going to be based on the reading. So again, no exams, but we'll have a number of quizzes, usually at the end of each module. And that tells me whether you've been doing the readings and studying and understand the vocabulary that's so important for us to know. We're also going to have digital, virtual, and artistic assignments as well. So it's not just writing, quizzes, reading, and viewing lectures and discussions. You also get a chance to flex some of those creative muscles, some of those virtual or digital muscles. And all of that is in the syllabus, and we'll explain that later on. But that's all to say that we'll have be doing a number of things this semester. It's going to be very exciting. It's going to be challenging. It's going to be a lot of work, but it's going to be very rewarding and, yes, even fun. All right, so that's the sort of content and the structure of the class. I wanted to go over a little bit more specific details in terms of what we're doing this first week of the class. And there are a number of assignments. Actually, we're starting right away. So the first thing that you want to do is to log on to Canvas and explore our course Canvas page. So Everything that you need and more is going to be located on Canvas. Everything related to the class. Readings, schedule, assignments, quizzes. My video lectures will be up there. PowerPoints with audio in them will be up there. And everything is going to be conveniently located through modules. So you've probably all dealt with modules, gone through modules last semester. But if not, what they are is a really organized way for you to go down the course in a very clear and, again, sort of structured way that makes it very easy to go through the class. So, okay, here's what I need to read. Here's what I need to submit. Here's what I need to watch. Here's what I need to submit in terms of assignments. So everything is going to be through modules, and that's the way that we go through the class. The modules will be they're not all posted right now, so we'll have, as we go into the first week, you'll have the first module posted, which is the first couple weeks, and then we'll go from there. So if you go and look, well, when you go and look around the course, you won't see every module there, but they'll be posted as we go along. So your first assignment is to get onto Canvas and familiarize yourself with our course page, right? The second is to study the syllabus. So the syllabus is located a couple of different places in Canvas. It's on the syllabus page where you can also print out a PDF of it. And it's also located, I will also email it to you in the coming week, or before the first week of the semester starts, so you should get an email from me. And it's located a couple of other places. I think it's also in the Start Here page. It's very, very important that you print out or save or download the syllabus, and not only study it, but make sure that you follow along the schedule on the syllabus, because it has everything you need in terms of what you have to read for the week, what assignments you need, what the dates that assignments are due, and all that important stuff. So very, very important to familiarize yourself with the syllabus. That's your second task. So 1 is to go on to the Canvas page, 2 is to study the syllabus, 3 is to acquire the textbook, whether in print or digital form, whatever you want. That's Introduction to International and Global Studies again. That's a great textbook. I've taught it a few times here at CSU, and it's wonderful and accessible, and I think you'll have a great time reading through it. So for this first week, get the textbook, and then Chapter 1 is a short introduction to the textbook, and that is going to be your reading for this week. So that's your third assignment there after Canvas, syllabus, textbook. Or fourth assignment. So read that Chapter 1. The penultimate assignment is what I'm going to post under modules Read, Watch, and More, which is where I post, which is the heading of the subsection of the module where you'll go each week to look at what you need to read, what you need to watch. If you need to watch a PowerPoint, that's there too as well. There's also going to be a PowerPoint that I want you to watch and listen to. It's one of the PowerPoints that have audio clips for some of the slides, and you'll need to play those audio clips, which is essentially me explaining important terms, talking about them, letting you know why they're important and what's expected to you, what's expected from you. And so when you go through this PowerPoint, I want you to make sure that you're clicking the audio too. That should be able to, you should be able to play that in Canvas. If not, if you have any technical difficulties, just email me. Worst case, I can email you the PowerPoint. If you have any issues about access or technological stuff, email me. I am not a technological genius, so if we can't figure it out together, we will ask the CSU help desk for help, and they're really great about solving any issues in terms of what's happening, if something's not working or I can't access something. CSU help desk is great, so have them on speed dial, which is a sort of dated reference that shows how old I am. Speed dial, what is that? Nobody knows. Anyway, CSU help desk. Okay, so the PowerPoint that we're also going to watch for the first week is on critical reading. Critical reading, why is that important? Because it's the kind of careful, analytical, and slow reading that we are going to be performing, not just for this class when we read and study things, but but it's going to be important for you. It's an important tool for you for not just the rest of your college career, because you're going to have to read things critically, analytically, and very carefully and very slowly in order to succeed in those classes. But it also helps kind of give you the tools to figure out what's happening in the world at large and in your life. Being a critical thinker is so important in the sense of just being able to figure out what's happening, not just in university, but anywhere, right? So it's a good tool. And so this gets us started on that. So it's a PowerPoint about critical reading, and the requirement and expectation therein is that when we read anything or study anything in this class, we're going to read it critically. So we're going to use these tools of critical reading and critical thinking. And so I wanted to start with that because it's how we're going to do everything in this class, right? Critically, slowly, analytically. They're going to call it active reading is another term for it. So that's all in that PowerPoint, and we'll discuss it in the following week during our live discussion. And again, remember that for some sections, 002, that's required. And for another section, 801, that is optional, though encouraged. So it's not required, but it's encouraged. It's there for you as a great resource. The very last thing, and I know it feels like there's a lot going on this first week. Some of it's just administrative, but we'll get through it all right? So the very last thing you're going to do is related to the informal writing that I was going to talk about. So you're going to answer a very short question on the course Canvas blog, right? So I'll have a question about something in the first chapter that we've read, global citizenship or international studies or globalization or something, and you're going to post a very short answer, just a paragraph or so. And then you're also going to comment on a classmate's post as well, so that we can have a bit of a dialogue. In addition to that, it'd be great if we introduced ourselves. So, if you want to write, hi, my name is so-and-so, I'm a psychology major or international studies major, I'm a freshman, junior, sophomore, senior, whatever it is, just a little bit about yourself so that we can kind of have a nice introduction to ourselves as we go forward. We'll see each other in the live meetings. We'll see each other online on the Canvas blog posts and all that fun stuff. So again, welcome. I'm very excited to serve as your instructor, your professor for this semester for interdisciplinary approaches to globalization, International Studies 200. Again, I think it's going to be a challenging but very rewarding and yes, even fun course. So excited to welcome you, and I will see you first week and thereafter. Again, welcome, and I hope everybody's well, and I will see you soon. Okay, Dr. Foster signing off. Bye-bye now.